What if I told you that something as simple as changing your hair color could completely transform the way you feel when you look in the mirror? It might sound too good to be true, but for many women over 50, the right shade can be the difference between feeling invisible and feeling radiant. Take Linda, for example. She's 63 and recently told me, "I looked at our family photo and I couldn't even see myself in it. My jet black hair looked so harsh, it felt like I had faded into the background." And she's not alone. As we get older, our skin changes. It loses some of that natural glow, our features soften, and what once looked great in our 30s might suddenly feel out of sync. You may have switched up your skincare routine, tried new makeup, or even updated your wardrobe. But if you haven't taken a fresh look at your hair color, that could be the missing piece. In today's video, we're diving into the colors that don't just sit on your head. They reflect who you are now. This isn't about chasing youth or trends. It's about embracing the version of you who's lived, learned, and still wants to walk into a room with quiet, undeniable confidence. Because the right hair color doesn't just brighten your face, it reminds you of your light. 1. Hair color. The key to brightening your face after 50. Let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed, but makes a world of difference. Your hair color. We tend to think of it as just a style choice, a personal preference, or something to cover up the grays. But after 50, hair color becomes something more. It becomes a tool for lighting up your entire face. Here's the thing. As we age, our skin naturally loses some of its brightness. The undertones shift, the texture changes, and that healthy glow we used to take for granted? It starts to fade, even if we're doing all the right things. Hydrating, moisturizing, using sunscreen. Makeup helps, sure, skincare too. But your hair color? That's where the real magic can happen. Think of it like the lighting in a room. You can have beautiful features, but if the lighting is too harsh or too dim, nothing quite looks right. The same goes for your hair. The wrong shade can drain your complexion, make you look tired, or even exaggerate fine lines and shadows. On the other hand, the right color acts like a soft filter. It reflects light onto your skin, evens out your tone, and brings warmth back to your face. And here's something most people don't talk about enough. Contrast. The contrast between your hair and your skin plays a huge role in how youthful or tired you appear. If your hair is too dark, the difference can be so stark that it highlights every little detail you'd rather not focus on. Too light, and it might wash you out completely. That's why reevaluating your hair color after 50 isn't vanity. It's wisdom. It's about aligning your outer appearance with the person you are now, someone confident, experienced, and still full of life. Your color doesn't need to shout. It just needs to support you, complement you, and bring out the best in you. So if you've been looking in the mirror lately and thinking, "I just look off," it might not be your skin at all. It might be the color surrounding your face. And the good news is, you have the power to change that beautifully, subtly, and completely on your terms. 2. Hair colors to avoid, starting with the mistakes. Jet black, too harsh, too serious. There's something undeniably striking about jet black hair. It's bold, it's dramatic, and on younger women or those with naturally deep skin tones, it can be absolutely stunning. But for many women over 50, jet black isn't just intense, it's unforgiving. As we age, our skin becomes softer, not just in texture but in color. We lose some of that natural rosiness or vibrancy we had in our 30s and 40s. Jet black hair, with all its depth and density, creates a contrast that's often too stark for mature skin. That sharp difference between the dark hair and lighter, more delicate skin can highlight every line, shadow, or hollow in the face. You may have noticed it yourself. Your under-eye circles suddenly seem more pronounced. Your cheeks look a bit flatter, or your jawline appears harsher than it used to. It's not always your skin aging dramatically. Sometimes it's the color around it that's doing you no favors. And let's talk maintenance. Jet black hair shows every gray the minute it grows in. That means more frequent touch-ups, more time, more money, and more effort just to maintain the illusion. Not to mention, as black fades, it often turns dull or brassy, especially if your hair is already drier or more porous with age. But perhaps the biggest issue with jet black is how it affects presence. Instead of highlighting your features, it competes with them. It draws the eye to your hair, not your smile. It makes your eyes look smaller, your face more severe, and can unintentionally add years to your appearance. Not because black is a bad color, but because it demands a youthful contrast that no longer exists in the same way. This doesn't mean you have to give up dark hair entirely. There are deeper browns, rich mochas, even black browns that offer similar sophistication with a softer edge. The goal isn't to lose your power. It's to shift into a version of strength that works with you, not against you. So if you've been wearing jet black for decades out of habit, maybe it's time to ask yourself, is this color still serving me? Or is it time for something that reflects not who I was, but who I've beautifully become? 3. Platinum blonde. Bright, but too cold. Platinum blonde has always had a certain allure. It's edgy, eye-catching, and has long been associated with glamour, from old Hollywood icons to modern fashion runways. But while it might look incredible in a magazine spread, in everyday life, especially after 50, it's one of the most difficult shades to wear well. The biggest challenge with platinum blonde is its tone. It's icy, extremely cool, and often devoid of warmth. Now think about what naturally happens to our skin as we age. We tend to lose color in our face, our undertones shift, and sometimes we carry a little more redness or unevenness. When you pair that with a nearly white, ultra-light blonde, it doesn't reflect light. It drains it. You might look in the mirror and think, why do I look so tired today? Or, why does my skin feel washed out, even with makeup? That's not your imagination. It's the platinum effect. Instead of brightening your face, it can flatten your features, leaving your complexion looking pale, grayish, or even ghost-like. Then there's the upkeep. Platinum blonde doesn't just require commitment, it demands it. Bleaching hair to that level strips it of its natural moisture, and if your strands are already thinning or dry from age or previous color, the damage can be hard to manage. You'll need regular toning, deep conditioning, and constant touch-ups to keep brassiness at bay. And let's not forget the irony. Many women choose platinum, thinking it'll blend nicely with their gray hair, but in reality, it often has the opposite effect. Natural grays tend to have more texture and depth, while platinum blonde can look flat and too uniform. The result? Roots show faster, and the difference in tone becomes even more obvious. That said, going blonde isn't off the table entirely. There are other shades, like honey blonde or soft beige blonde, that still offer brightness, but with a golden warmth that enhances rather than competes with your skin. The key is not just going light, but going right. So if you've tried platinum in the hopes of feeling lighter, fresher, or more youthful, but ended up looking tired, overprocessed, or just not quite like yourself, it's okay. Hair color is never a life sentence. It's just a reflection. And you deserve one that reflects the warmth, depth, and vitality you carry now. 4. Burgundy red. Bold, but overpowering. Burgundy red has a certain appeal that's hard to resist. It feels rich, daring, and full of personality. And for many women, especially those seeking something fresh after years of neutrals, burgundy can feel like a statement. Like saying, I still have fire in me. And you do. But sometimes, the boldest colors aren't the most flattering ones. The issue with burgundy red isn't the color itself. It's how that deep mix of red and purple interacts with mature skin. As we age, our facial features soften. The contrast between our skin, eyes, and lips tends to lessen. Burgundy, with its dramatic tones, can reintroduce contrast in a way that feels unbalanced. Instead of lifting your face, it can weigh it down. You might notice that your skin suddenly looks more flushed or uneven. If you have any redness in your cheeks, rosacea, or broken capillaries, burgundy doesn't disguise it, it magnifies it. And under different lighting, especially indoor yellow light, it can cast odd undertones onto your skin, making you look tired or even a little off color. It's also not a low-maintenance shade. Burgundy fades quickly, and it rarely fades evenly. After just a few washes, you might be left with a muddy, patchy version of the color you started with. Keeping it vibrant means constant upkeep, and even then, it often looks best on hair that's thick, glossy, and uniform, not hair that's finer, textured, or naturally gray. But perhaps the biggest concern is this. Burgundy often walks into the room before you do. It announces itself louder than your smile, your voice, or your expression. Instead of complimenting who you are, it can become a distraction. That doesn't mean you need to give up on red tones completely. Warm auburns, soft cinnamons, and even copper browns can bring vibrancy and dimension without overwhelming your features. They work with your natural warmth, not against it. They support your presence rather than compete with it. So if you've ever tried burgundy and felt like your hair was the main character while you were just the background, know that it's not you. It's just the wrong red. And the right one? It will bring light to your face, not take it away. 5. Honey blonde. Light without the washout. If there's a color that feels like a soft ray of morning sunlight, it's honey blonde. Not icy, not platinum, not overly processed, but warm, golden, and quietly radiant. For many women over 50, honey blonde is the secret to looking refreshed without looking like you're trying too hard. What makes honey blonde so flattering is its warmth. It brings back a touch of that natural glow our skin starts to lose over time. Where cooler tones can make you look pale or tired, honey blonde reflects light in a way that brightens your complexion, especially if your skin leans toward neutral, peachy, or golden undertones. And here's the beautiful part. It's versatile. Honey blonde isn't a one-size-fits-all shade. You can go a little deeper in the fall with a buttery golden hue, or lighten it up in spring with soft, sun-kissed highlights. Either way, it never feels flat or overdone. It adds dimension, softness, and just the right amount of lift around the face. What's more, honey blonde can be incredibly forgiving with grays. Rather than fighting against them, it blends them in gently, especially when combined with subtle highlights or a balayage technique. That means less pressure to touch up every few weeks, and more room to let your natural hair shine through in a flattering, intentional way. This color also carries a certain ease. It's feminine without being girlish, light without being loud, and it gives off a sense of warmth and approachability that suits a woman who knows exactly who she is. So if you've always wanted to try blonde, but feared it might wash you out or feel artificial, don't dismiss it just yet. Honey blonde could be that soft, golden middle ground, a color that doesn't try to make you someone else, but brings out the very best of who you already are. 6. Caramel brown. The sweet spot between warmth and depth. Caramel brown is one of those rare shades that seems to flatter almost everyone, especially women over 50. It's warm without being brassy, rich without being overpowering, and somehow manages to add both light and depth to your look at the same time. So why does it work so well? It comes down to balance. As we age, many of us notice that our skin tone begins to lose its natural warmth. The rosy glow we once had might fade a little, and our overall complexion may start to look more neutral, or even a bit cool. Caramel brown helps bring that warmth back without making the color too loud or artificial. The soft golden undertones in this shade reflect light onto your face, giving the illusion of a sun-kissed glow, even in the middle of winter. It creates a flattering frame around your features, softens shadows, and brings a gentle lift to your overall appearance. In short, it lights you up from the outside in. Another reason women love caramel brown? It's low maintenance and incredibly forgiving. It blends beautifully with grays, especially when paired with soft highlights or a subtle balayage. Instead of creating a harsh line between dyed hair and new growth, it allows your natural color to shine through in a graceful, blended way. Caramel brown is also endlessly customizable. You can lean into deeper chestnut tones for fall and winter, or add light golden ribbons for more dimension in the warmer months. It never feels trendy or too much. It simply feels like you, only a bit warmer, brighter, and more confident. And that's really the beauty of this shade. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't try to transform you into someone else. Instead, it gently enhances what's already there. It says, "I'm comfortable in my skin, and I know what works for me." If your current hair color feels like it's just there, doing nothing for you, or worse, making you look tired or flat, caramel brown might be the change you didn't know you needed. It's not just a color, it's a quiet reminder that beauty evolves. And so do you. 7. Ashy Mocha Brown. Cool, calm, and incredibly chic. Not every woman feels her best in warm tones, and that's perfectly okay. If you've always gravitated toward cooler colors, or if you've noticed that warmth tends to exaggerate redness in your skin, then ashy mocha brown might be exactly what you've been looking for. Ashy mocha brown is a soft, muted shade with subtle, cool undertones and just a hint of smoky richness. It's understated, elegant, and refreshingly modern. Unlike jet black, it doesn't create harsh contrast. Unlike golden shades, it doesn't compete with your natural tone. It simply balances everything out. And sometimes, that's the most powerful look of all. One of the reasons this color works so well for mature skin is because of what it doesn't do. It doesn't highlight redness or uneven tones. It doesn't make your skin look dull. Instead, it acts like a soft lens, cooling down the overall complexion, calming any harshness, and gently framing your face with definition. It's especially flattering for women with neutral or cool undertones in their skin. If you've ever noticed that silver jewelry suits you better than gold, or that your skin tends to pink up easily, this could be your ideal shade. Mocha brown brings depth without drama and elegance without effort. This color also transitions beautifully if you're growing out your natural grays. Because of its neutral base, mocha brown allows silver strands to peek through without clashing. It softens the difference between dyed and natural hair in a way that looks intentional, not like your in-between salon visits. And the best part? It's incredibly low maintenance. You don't have to fight to keep it glossy or touch it up every few weeks. It wears well, fades gracefully, and never demands too much attention, much like the women who wear it best. If warmth isn't your thing, or if you've been stuck between wanting to tone down your hair without going too dark, ashy mocha brown offers that graceful in-between. It's calm, it's chic, and it says, I know myself, and I've got nothing to prove. So here we are. We've explored 3 colors to avoid, and 3 that can completely transform the way you feel in your own skin. But this isn't really about hair, is it? It's about the way you carry yourself. It's about looking in the mirror and feeling like your reflection finally matches how you feel on the inside. Vibrant, grounded, and still full of light. The right hair color doesn't make you look younger. It makes you look more you. It brings warmth to your skin, softness to your features, and harmony to your face. And most importantly, it gives you back that subtle confidence, that quiet sense of ease that says, I know who I am. I've earned every year, every wrinkle, and every strand of silver, and I still get to choose how I show up. Whether it's the sunny glow of honey blonde, the rich embrace of caramel brown, or the cool calm of mocha ash, the color you choose should reflect more than just your taste. It should reflect your life, your energy, and your evolution. If you've been stuck in the same shade for years, or if something just hasn't felt quite right lately, maybe it's time to try something new. Not because you need to fix anything, but because you deserve to feel seen, radiant, and fully aligned with the woman you are today. So here's your gentle reminder. Your beauty didn't fade with time. It just changed. And with the right color, you might be surprised how easily that inner light comes back to the surface.